All right, my lovelies, hopefully you went home with your math notebook, the manila paper I gave you, and scissors and glue and a pencil. If you do not have that stuff, go get it now. So go ahead and pause the video and do that. Okay, so if you have your stuff, we're going to start with our paper turned horizontally. We're going to take our two sides and we're going to have them meet in the middle and fold them down so that now we have two flaps. And then you're going to need your scissors. So go ahead and make sure you have that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut each one of those flaps into thirds so that you have 3 on each side. So just like that. So pause the video so that now you can do your flaps. Okay, so now we are going to label our flaps of what we're doing. The first flap we are going to call multiplication properties because that's what this foldable is. It is our multiplication properties foldable. So pause the video and write that down. Then we're going to write the different properties. So the first one we're going to talk about is commutative property. So I want you to write that one down, commutative property. So we're going to open up that flap and we're going to talk about the commutative property. The commutative property says that your factors can go in any order and you will get the same result. So your factors can go in any order and you will get the same result, kind of like the commutative property of addition. So for addition, we said that 6 plus 4 equals 12 and 4 plus 6 equals 10. 6 plus 4 equals 10. 4 plus 6 equals 10. Sorry. So now we're going to do it with multiplication. 6 times 4 equals what? Give me a second. 24. So that means that 4 times 6 equals, you guessed it, 24. So that's all the commutative property says. No matter which order you put them in, you will still get the same result. So make sure you have that written down for that flap. Okay, so the next flap is going to be the associative property. And we're going to open that flap up. Close that first one. Sorry. That one says that you can change the group of the factors and still get the same result. So you can change the group of the factors and still get the same result. Go ahead and pause the video and write that down, and then I'll show you what that means. Okay, so what that means is just like the associative property of addition, no matter which way we group our multiplication in our sentences, we will still get the same answer. So for example, the parentheses has to be done first. We talked about that. So if I do 2 times 10, that would give me 20. 20 times 3 would be 60. So it's the same thing if I group 10 times 3 first. 10 times 3 is 30. 30 times 2 is 60. So I still get the same result no matter which group of factors I do first. So that's what the associative property means. You can change the group like where the parentheses are, and you'll still get the same result. Okay, so I'm going to close that one. My next one is going to be the identity property. Identity property. And what that one, we're going to open that one up. And what it says is any factor multiplied by 1 is that factor. So any number multiplied by 1 is that number. So for example, 362 multiplied by 1 would be 362. It's that number. Any number multiplied by 1 is that number. Yes, even humongous numbers like 1,323,868 multiplied by 1 is 1,323,868. So make sure you have that one written down. Then let's close that flap. If you need to pause the video to catch up, go right on ahead. It's no big deal. The next one we're going to do is the zero property. Zero property. We're going to open that one up. And what that one says is any factor multiplied by 0 equals 0. So anything multiplied by 0. So 6 times 0, 0. 6 million times 0, 0. So we'll use those as our examples. So 6 times 0 is 0. 6 million times 0 is 0. Any factor multiplied by 0 equals 0. Then I'm going to close that one. And the last one we're going to talk about, and I'm just going to do a brief overview of this one because we're going to do more of it in class tomorrow, is the distributive property. I'm going to open that up. And the distributive property, I can't talk, says that you multiply the outside factor to each digit inside the addition parentheses. Now this one is a long one. You multiply the outside factor to each digit inside the addition parentheses. And you're going, what? But I'm going to show you an example. So if I have 6 times 8 plus 4. This is my outside factor. These are my digits on the inside of the addition parentheses. So what distributive property means is I have to distribute that 6 to both of those numbers. So I have to send the 6 with the 8 and the 6 with the 4. So I have to do 6 times 8. And that equals 48. And then 6 times 4, which is 24. Then what you do is you add those two together to get 72. That's the distributive property. All right, so you're going to close that and watch the next video.